Hello Lakers fan, if you are one of those who are always up to date with the news about our Lakers, then you need to stay tuned to what is coming up on our Lakers news channel. I am preparing exclusive coverage on the possible signings of Lakers, and what I can tell you is that rumors are catching fire on social media, and if you don't want to miss any information, stay tuned. We have exclusive news every day. If you are a true Lakers and don't want to be left out of the news, be sure to subscribe. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Let's go to the video.
Could a LeBron James trade that benefits everyone actually be on the table? This has been anything but a typical off-season for LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. After opting into his $52.6 million player option for the 2025-26 season, his future in the purple and gold suddenly became less certain, not because of a trade request, but because of the message that came with it. Rich Paul, LeBron's longtime agent at Clutch Sports, clarified that no trade discussions had occurred with the Lakers. But the reality is simple: LeBron holds the power. With a no-trade clause, the decision about where, and even if, he finishes his career in LA lies entirely with him. As the Lakers begin shaping a new roster, including the recent free agent signing of DeAndre Ayton, James faces a decision: stay and compete alongside Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and a new-look squad, or consider closing out his career somewhere else, somewhere with a clearer shot at a title. For the first time in years, the idea of LeBron leaving the Lakers doesn't feel far-fetched. Despite a productive partnership that brought a title in 2020, LA reportedly hasn't offered LeBron a contract extension, part of why he opted in to preserve both his max salary and the control that comes with his no-trade clause. And while James has often said he intends to finish his career in Los Angeles, it's equally clear that he wants to compete for a championship. If he doesn't believe this roster can deliver that, there's one destination that makes more sense than any other. Why the Mavericks might be the perfect landing spot. Enter Nico Harrison and the Dallas Mavericks. Harrison and Lakers GM Rob Pelinka already pulled off one blockbuster trade earlier this year. Could they team up again, this time for the first trade of LeBron James' career? Most LeBron trade speculation has centered around Eastern Conference teams like the Cleveland Cavaliers and New York Knicks. While the weaker East makes them attractive, the logic breaks down when you consider what those teams would need to give up, and whether they'd risk their long-term core for one, possibly final year of LeBron. Dallas is different. The Mavericks are all in on a short-term title window, proven when Harrison traded 26-year-old Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis earlier this summer. That kind of bold, win-now thinking makes a LeBron trade not only possible, but logical. Imagine this starting five: LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, and Derek Lively too. Off the bench: Klay Thompson, D'Angelo Russell, Jaden Hardy, Dante Exum, and Dwight Powell. Even if Dallas gave up some depth, that core is built for a championship run. The idea of reuniting with Kyrie and AD, plus playing alongside top pick Cooper Flagg, whom LeBron has openly praised, would certainly appeal to the king. And it gets even more interesting. Familiar faces reuniting in Dallas? NBA insider Mark Stein recently reported that up to 3 assistant coaches from the Lakers' 2020 championship staff could join Jason Kidd's bench in Dallas. That includes Frank Vogel, Phil Handy, and Mike Penberthy, coaches LeBron already trusts and won a title with. With that support system in place, plus a roster tailored to his strengths, the Mavericks might offer LeBron something no other team can: a chance to win his 5th ring with people he already believes in. And don't forget, Kyrie Irving already tried to recruit LeBron to Dallas last summer. Why would the Lakers say yes? Here's the big question: why would the Lakers help a Western Conference rival become a super team? Because, ultimately, they may not have a choice. LeBron controls his destiny. And at nearly 41 years old, he's no longer a trade asset teams will gut their rosters for. If he decides he wants to go, the Lakers' best move is to get as much value back as possible. And Dallas has exactly the kind of assets LA would want in a rebuild around Luka. A realistic package could include Daniel Gafford, P.J. Washington, Caleb Martin, Najee Marshall, Max Christie, plus Dalton Knecht and Bronny James, who stay in LA. Financially, it works. Roster-wise, it gives LA a deep young core with enough flexibility to pursue another star alongside Luka in the coming years. It also gives them control of their future, not tied to the uncertainty of LeBron's aging curve. The result? A 2025-26 Lakers lineup that could look like this. Guards: Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Max Christie, Gabe Vincent. Wings: P.J. Washington, Caleb Martin, Najee Marshall, Rui Hachimura. Bigs, DeAndre Ayton, Daniel Gafford, Jared Vanderbilt, Maxi Kleber. Not a title favorite yet, but young, promising, and financially flexible. And if Pelinka plays his cards right, he might even coax Harrison into returning the Lakers' 2029 first-round pick, especially if it helps Dallas sell the deal to its fan base. What happens now? On paper, this might seem like fantasy. But around the league, whispers are growing louder that LeBron and the Lakers are approaching a crossroads. Maybe the trade never happens. Maybe LeBron decides to run it back in LA one more time. But don't be surprised if this scenario, far from being random, is something both sides have quietly considered for months. After all, the NBA's greatest players don't just walk away quietly. They go out chasing greatness. And maybe, for LeBron, that chase leads to Dallas. Jackson Hayes re-signs with Lakers on one-year deal. With NBA free agency now in full swing, all eyes are on the Los Angeles Lakers as they look to strengthen their roster ahead of a pivotal 2025-26 season. Heading into the summer, it was no secret around the league. The Lakers were actively hunting for size, specifically a reliable center. They had been linked to almost every big man on the market, with one major name leading the way, DeAndre Ayton, who ultimately signed with LA after being bought out by the Portland Trail Blazers. But even with Ayton in the fold, the Lakers' frontcourt depth remains thin. In fact, Ayton was the only true center under contract, until now. According to Shams Charania of ESPN, the Lakers are bringing back Jackson Hayes on a one-year deal, giving them a familiar face to bolster their rotation. A second chance in purple and gold. Hayes' future with the team seemed uncertain just a few weeks ago. His role diminished during the playoffs, and there was speculation he might look for a fresh start elsewhere. However, it's easy to forget how impactful he was during the second half of the regular season, especially after the blockbuster trade that sent Anthony Davis to Dallas for Luka Doncic. In that post-trade stretch, Hayes stepped up. He gave the Lakers energy, vertical spacing, and rim protection, valuable traits that made him a strong fit alongside Doncic's pick-and-roll game. Unfortunately, his momentum didn't carry into the postseason, where he saw limited minutes. Still, the Lakers clearly see value in his upside. Hayes returns to LA with unfinished business, ready to contribute off the bench and thrive in a system that now revolves around Luka's playmaking. Over 2 seasons with the Lakers, Hayes has appeared in 126 games, 40 starts, averaging 5.4 points and 3.8 rebounds per contest. While he hasn't quite lived up to the lottery pick expectations from the 2019 draft, flashes of his potential have kept teams intrigued. And now, he'll get another shot to prove himself, this time, with a roster built more around his strengths. The bigger picture, Lakers stay flexible for 2026. What's even more telling about this move is what it doesn't do: lock up long-term money. The Lakers have been careful this offseason to preserve financial flexibility, avoiding multi-year deals or expensive extensions. The goal? Give Luka Doncic the confidence to sign a long-term extension this summer, and then chase a marquee star to pair with him next year. By signing Hayes to a one-year contract, LA strengthens its roster now without sacrificing cap space for what could be a massive opportunity in 2026. Final word. For Jackson Hayes, this is a chance at redemption. For the Lakers, it's a smart depth move that keeps the team competitive now, and keeps the door open for bigger swings later. And for Luka Doncic? It's another athletic big who can catch lobs, block shots, and make life easier in the pick and roll. Everyone wins, for now. And the real fireworks may still be ahead. What comes next for Hayes and the Lakers? Jackson Hayes returns not only with something to prove, but also as a key piece in a broader strategy the Lakers are carefully crafting. His one-year deal sends a message: balance today's competitiveness with tomorrow's ambition. Depth, defense, and development. Hayes isn't being brought back just to fill a spot. He's expected to play a meaningful role off the bench. Defensive anchor and paint presence. His shot blocking and rim-threatening style will help anchor lineups when Ayton sits. Pick-and-roll execution. The pick-and-roll chemistry he built with Doncic last season is exactly what the Lakers were looking for. Upside unlocked. At just 22, Hayes continues to grow. This is a chance to dive deeper into film, strengthen consistency, and carve out a defined long-term role. Lakers maintain cap and roster flexibility. This move is part of a deliberate broader approach. Short-term deals for strategic value. Hayes' contract doesn't lock the team down, leaving room for bigger acquisitions later. Preparing for Luka's future, the front office is betting on Doncic extending this summer, and if that happens, being financially nimble could allow LA to chase another star in 2026. Navigating the Western Conference, with contenders like Denver, Minnesota, and Houston beefing up, the Lakers need smart, efficient rotations now, and more firepower later. The ripple effects, on and off the court. For Hayes, this is redemption time. He'll be expected to deliver hustle plays, protect the rim, crash boards, and provide reliable backup minutes. Consistent performance could flip his narrative and career. For Doncic, another athletic rollman helps him execute pick and rolls and pace the offense, making the superstar even more lethal in transition. For Ayton and the front court, competition is healthy. With Hayes pushing roles, Ayton will have to maintain high standards, something that benefits everyone on the roster. For Lakers fans and front office, this move strengthens faith in a vision that doesn't chase expensive short-term fixes. Instead, it's building a foundation of young talent, capped flexibility, and championship ambition. The big picture, laying bricks for a bigger build. The Hayes signing is more than a roster footnote, it's a building block. Lakers GM Rob Pelinka and coach J.J. Redick are constructing a team geared toward postseason success now, with the ability to pivot quickly next offseason. The hope. Hayes proves himself, Doncic commits long-term, and a star-caliber free agent joins the mix in 2026. It's a tested playbook, established continuity and room for growth, brought to life through strategic short-term signings and disciplined financial stewardship. Final take. In a league that often glorifies headline-grabbing trades, the Lakers are making quiet, binary decisions, depth today, freedom tomorrow. Jackson Hayes may not be the flashiest name, but his return ticks every box: youth, upside, role clarity, and cost efficiency. And when you're building something that matters, every smart move counts. Lakers video resurfaces. J.J. Redick once called DeAndre Ayton fantastic in 2022 clip. The Los Angeles Lakers have a new man in the middle, DeAndre Ayton, and with the way things are shaping up, he's poised to be the team's starting center for the 2025-26 season. Signed to a 2-year deal, Ayton is currently the only center on head coach J.J. Redick's depth chart, which means big minutes and even bigger expectations. After bouncing between Phoenix and Portland, Ayton arrives in LA with undeniable talent but a reputation that needs reshaping. Critics have often pointed to a lack of motor, inconsistent effort, and an inability to impact winning in meaningful ways. In Los Angeles, that narrative has to change, and fast. But here's the interesting twist: J.J. Redick might be exactly the right coach to help make that happen. A throwback clip says it all. A resurfaced video from a 2022 episode of First Take shows Redick praising Ayton's offensive game, calling him fantastic for his ability to punish mismatches and thrive in the pick and roll alongside Chris Paul. Redick, then a rising media personality, highlighted Ayton's footwork, touch, and efficiency as reasons for his early NBA success. That praise came at a time when Ayton was an integral part of a Suns team making deep playoff runs. While a lot has changed since then, the core strengths Redick admired haven't gone away. If anything, Ayton's skill set, paired with elite playmakers like LeBron James and Luka Doncic, could be even more effective than it was in Phoenix. Ayton needs a reset. LA might be the perfect place. Let's face it, Ayton's last few seasons have been uneven. In Phoenix, he went from a foundational piece to a cap casualty. In Portland, he put up numbers, but they didn't translate into wins. Through it all, questions about his drive and leadership never fully went away. That's why this Lakers chapter feels so important, for both Ayton and the team. Redick, a former player known for his IQ and detail-oriented approach, isn't just looking for raw numbers. He wants impact, consistency, and buy-in. If Ayton commits to the system and embraces the challenge of playing with superstars like LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves, this could be the turning point of his career. And clearly, Redick already knows the tools Ayton brings. That's not a bad place to start. Ayton's first message to Lakers fans. Shortly after news of his signing broke, Ayton shared a heartfelt message on Instagram, thanking the Portland Trail Blazers for the past 2 seasons and sending love to the fanbase. It was a mature, appreciative goodbye, acknowledging a chapter that didn't quite go as planned, but one he's clearly grateful for. He ended the post with a simple message to Lakers fans. Let's get to work. It was short, honest, and exactly what LA wanted to hear. A high-risk, high-reward move, but the ceiling is real. Ayton's arrival doesn't come without questions. But if there's any place where a player can reinvent himself, it's under the bright lights of Los Angeles, especially when you're surrounded by some of the game's most brilliant minds and biggest stars. And with J.J. Redick at the helm, already familiar with Ayton's potential and clearly open to maximizing it, this could quietly become one of the most impactful moves of the Lakers offseason. A fresh start, and a spotlight like no other. DeAndre Ayton isn't walking into just any locker room. He's joining a franchise with championship aspirations, historic expectations, and a fanbase that doesn't settle for mediocrity. The Los Angeles Lakers don't just want production, they want passion, toughness, and accountability. And that's exactly what Ayton will need to show from day one. With J.J. Redick now leading the team in his first year as head coach, the Lakers are betting on a culture shift, one built around basketball IQ, trust, and roles that elevate every player. Redick may be a rookie coach, but he's spent years studying the game at the highest level, and he's made it clear, effort is non-negotiable. For Ayton, that could be a blessing in disguise. He won't be asked to be the savior, the star, or the leading scorer. He'll be asked to anchor the defense, finish plays around the rim, set strong screens, and crash the glass with intensity. And with LeBron James and Luka Doncic commanding most of the offensive gravity, Ayton should have more space and easier opportunities than ever before. Why this move matters for the Lakers. The signing also speaks volumes about the Lakers' off-season priorities. After moving on from multiple big men over the past few years, Anthony Davis sliding to the 5, then back out again, plus short-term experiments with players like Mo Bamba and Christian Wood, the franchise was desperate for stability in the center position. Ayton, still only 26, brings not only size but untapped potential. If Redick and his coaching staff can light the fire, they may have just found a high-level starter at a value price. His 2-year deal also gives the Lakers flexibility. If he thrives, he becomes a long-term piece alongside Luka and Reeves in the post-LeBron era. If not, the short contract means they can pivot without long-term financial baggage. The Western Conference just got more interesting. Ayton's arrival adds another layer of intrigue to an already competitive West. The Denver Nuggets still have Nikola Jokic. The Minnesota Timberwolves just reloaded with depth around Karl-Anthony Towns. The Houston Rockets are reportedly acquiring Kevin Durant. And now the Lakers, potentially adding Ayton and still in pursuit of more veteran depth, are keeping themselves in the mix. If Ayton can elevate his game and buy into Redick's system, the Lakers could quietly become one of the most balanced teams in the conference. With elite playmaking, experienced leadership, and a physical interior presence, they're built to withstand the playoff grind, if everything clicks. What's next for the Lakers? Sources close to the team say the Lakers are still looking to add another backup big and a 3-and-D wing to round out the roster. Internal development from younger players like Max Christie and Jalen Hood-Schifino will also play a role, but all eyes will be on how quickly Ayton meshes with LeBron and Luka in training camp. There's also quiet optimism that Ayton, with the right structure, could finally live up to his #1 overall pick pedigree, a label that's followed him for years but never quite matched the narrative. Now with a clean slate, a respected coach who believes in his strengths, and a chance to play alongside two of the smartest stars in the game, Ayton may be exactly where he needs to be. And if it all comes together, the rest of the league better be ready.